Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Today I have a process video for you for the Mind Games tag bob that I am doing. So I am working through the art part in a little tag. And so if you guys didn't pick that up, I will link it down below. It is the tag bob kit from By the Well for God. Today I'm going to be using this Eternity in View coordinating stamp set. Some of the big tile alphas. These are on white sticker paper. I can't wait to get into these. I'll be using a tag, obviously, from the tag kit, and these fun window wheels. So I'm going to be journaling day 3, which is Life Through Heaven Colored Glasses. And so I have all of my notes already, and I did the heart part. So now let's dig into the art part. Let's dig in. Okay, darling, so jumping in, I am going to be using the Eternity in View stamp set. This was a coordinating stamp set, and it has this fun viewfinder. I don't know if you guys remember having one of these, but I surely do. It's kind of nostalgic to see all of these game pieces in this kit, so I really love it. I am going to shift through the coordinating papers, and I'm trying to find something that has a little bit of a pattern but is pretty neutral so it doesn't take away from the rest of my tag. So I end up picking these two, this blue distress one and the kind of yellow beige distress one. And I decided to go with the blue one because it was going to provide a little bit more color and contrast than the beige was. So I go ahead and stamp that with my VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I love that ink, especially because it does great for details. I end up stamping it twice because I then flip over my paper to add this to the bottom because there is more of a distressed blue pattern on that other side of the paper, and that's more of what I wanted for this page. Okay, so now I'm going to fussy cut this out, but you'll see that I am going to curve around the actual wheel because this has a wheel in it, a window wheel in the actual stamp. So if you don't have the window wheels, you can just use the one that is right here on the stamp. But because I have one, I have the window wheels, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out so I can replace it with my own window wheels. So here I'm going through the colors trying to see, okay, what color combination do I want? I end up going with a green one, and I decide to go with a simple green one because I knew I wanted to fill in the little squares with the word heaven. So day 3 is about life through heaven colored glasses, and it focuses on Colossians 3:2, which reads, think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. And so I love the breakdown that Judy gives about this because she talks about us focusing and setting our minds and fixing our minds and establishing our affections for things of heaven. So if you see here on screen, I am actually trying to build this up so that I can fill in those little squares with the words heaven. I tried my tiny attacher, but I was actually ran out of the staples, and I know they're somewhere in my stash. But instead of roughing through those, I'm going to use my tape glue runner, and I'm going to attach those two together. Then I'm going to look at my big tau alphas because I had already looked at them and I knew they fit right in the little squares for the viewfinder. So I'm going to grab these blue ones because I thought it would match well since I already have a blue viewfinder. And now I'm going to grab some white paper that is in my stash. I tried to find a piece of paper that was a little light because I don't want to create too much bulk in the tags because I knew I wanted to pop up my viewfinder. Okay, so tracing that half circle on the white paper, now I'm going to trace the little squares inside of the viewfinder. Now, you can definitely do this with a pencil or a pen because the little squares from the tile alphas are actually going to cover up the pencil marks. So I wasn't really worried about that. So I grab the words or the letters to spell out heaven. I also love that these have a little Scrabble tile feel because I feel like it makes it very playful. And now I'm going to grab my liquid glue because I knew that this would be easier to control than using my tape runner. And then I'm going to also use this because it gives me a little wiggle room for me to shift my my little window wheel into place to make sure that it's covering up all of the little squares. So my E needed to be shifted down just a little bit more, but other than that, it turned out perfect, which I was so happy to see. Okay, now that that is all glued down, now I need to start thinking about what elements I'm going to use around it. I did have a journaling card that had spelt out, this one is the one that came in the main kit. It had written out or typed out the verse in Colossians 3:12, and I was trying to find a way to use all of the strips right here on the tag, but there wasn't enough room. So I grabbed some of that checkered blue and beige that I use for this is just some leftover that I use for my title tag. And then I'm going to kind of find a way. You'll see me kind of thinking, okay, can I use the top? Can I layer it all on the bottom? But it was just too many words. And then I decide I can just use the set your minds on, and then heaven is already written on my viewfinder. So it creates a beautiful title and kind of just summarizes Colossians 3 verse 2. Okay, I'm going to use that second half of that strip of paper, and these were just scraps. So another reason why not to throw away your scraps. I lift up the little keyhole from my tag just a little bit, the reinforcer, and then I kind of shove that into the top there, and then I'm going to cut off what is the excess. I'm going to add a little bit more glue so that reinforcer can glue down, and I use my my acrylic block to kind of hold a little weight on there as that dries up. I then grab some of my foam tape, and I'm going to add that on 3 parts of my viewfinder. And then thinking I need to kind of make this pop off of the checkerboard. So I grab my Faber-Castell Big Pit Artist Pen. This is in the color Green Gold 268. And I'm just going around and kind of edging that. And that's going to help it pop off just a little bit more on my page. Adding some tape runner to that and adding that towards the top. What you don't see here is that I do add the Colossians 3:12 to the bottom part. You'll see that off screen. I do that off screen, so you'll see that in my pictures at the end there. Okay, so adding my viewfinder, so glad I made that pop off just a little bit more. Now I'm looking for a number 3 to represent that this was day 3. I'm pulling out a couple of stamp sets, and I finally find one that is the perfect size to go right there in the middle. And so I grab that, I ink that up with my VersaFine Black Onyx ink again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that 3 right in the middle. I add a little bit more pressure just to make sure I get a good impression, but after I add that number 3, that's a wrap for tag number 3. That is it, darlings. I love how this turned out. It's kind of simple, but I love it. Actually turned out better than I thought it would, so I am absolutely in love with it. I was thinking I might go in and maybe do some shadowing within the viewfinder here, but I don't know. I really love it even as is. So that is it. That is day 3. I hope to share some more of these tag videos with you, depending on how much time allows here at home, because you guys know it is summer, so my kids are out of school. But I hope to share more of you. If you are new here, I hope you consider subscribing, hit the like button and notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Let me know how you love this process video, or what you would like to see. Thank you so much for joining me each and every video, darlings. God bless. Bye.